Hi, everyone. Nicola here. I am the outreach specialist with REE Medical. I am so excited for today's interview. We are here with Nick Todd, who is our Director of Strategic Partnerships here at REE Medical. He is also a veteran, and he is here to share his experience, not only working with the VA or disabilities, going through his claim and what he experienced, but now also the incredible opportunity to have him working for us on our team here at REE Medical. So welcome, Nick. It's so exciting to have you here.
Great to be a part of the team. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks. Yes, Nick and Nick. That is not confusing at all. Awesome. Well, I'll just kind of get right in here. So love to just tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you serve, your branch of military, just anything you'd like to kind of share with us about your history.
I'm in San Diego now. Been here almost 20 years. Actually came out with the Coast Guard, served in the Coast Guard, originally from North Carolina. When I came out, my first deployment was to Alaska and the Bering Sea, the Bering Straits, in support of Coast Guard search and rescue operations. I transitioned into a team that did counter narcotics and deployed twice more to the South Pacific, Central America, working in support of maritime counter narcotics operations.
That's incredible. Oh my gosh, what an amazing history and just time in the service that you had. That's so awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So when you retired, and you obviously went through the process, the disability process, can you maybe explain sort of what you went through with that process? Because I believe you did it on your own, correct?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
After many years in the Coast Guard, I was injured. I believe they're now calling it swimmer's lung, but ended up working for quite a bit of time with fluid in my lungs, and my lungs were scarred, about 40% scar tissue in my lungs. Retired from the Coast Guard back in 2008, and I retired at 60% with a temporary retirement, which essentially means that the Coast Guard has the right to bring me back onto active service if that's what they needed. Worked with the VA for over a decade. I believe my wife and I sat down and did the math for 11 years. Went through five different claims processes and 5 different ratings. Finally, after over a decade of working with the VA, I was able to find the magic document and the correct medical specialist to fill it out, and was finally given a 100% total and permanent disability rating. And
But it took you a decade
took me over a decade. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that must have been, I'm sure there were moments where maybe you felt like, okay, this is it. I give up. I'm done trying. What was sort of some of the struggles that you kind of went through during that time?
I can say that the stress and anxiety going through the appeals process, being denied, being given reasons for denial that I knew weren't valid, and having to go back through, I would say it took me over a decade, just because after each of the claims processes and not getting the results that I knew that I needed, not only monetarily but medically for myself and my family. After each one of those processes, I was burnt out. I was stressed out. I was anxious, and I was upset. And so I think that the process was extended simply because of the stress and anxiety of having to go through those claims processes. And finally, I was able to get it completed. But looking back, I wish that I would have had medical services like REE provides.
Mm-hmm.
It would have taken me 6 months, if that, to get the same benefits that took me a decade
That took you a
on my
decade.
own.
Gosh. And then I would imagine too, like during that time, I mean, had your conditions, worsened, like some of your, whether it was like physical or mental, whatever you put in for, had some of those conditions, maybe worsened just as the years sort of progressed?
Absolutely. And not just with the original service connected disability. Over a decade of trying different medications and oral steroids and all of these things um, that were just being tried to keep my lungs open, keep me breathing well. But those medications had their own side effects, and and they led to more conditions and more anxiety, more headache.
Absolutely. I would say that's probably one of the common, when I'm talking to veterans and just conversations that they say. I mean, you touched on it a few minutes ago about, had I known a company like REE Medical existed, I would have gone that route than doing it. Because, obviously it's wonderful when veterans can do it on their own. And some veterans get lucky and they go through that process and they receive their rating, which is, wonderful. But as you know, obviously you experience that's not always the case. And I'm sure you have, friends or family that have maybe gone through a similar thing where it maybe took years to finally, receive some decision. And like you said, I know it took you a couple tries before you finally got to that 100%. So, well, just jumping over. So now you are with REE. So obviously you wish you had worked with REE before with your rating, but now that you are on board with us,
Now I work for REE.
now you are for REE, not with REE, but for REE. Well, just tell us a little bit. I mean, I know you're, kind of recently started, but just being a veteran yourself, in the role that you're in, and maybe just tell a little bit about, what you've been doing so far, but being a veteran and encouraging other veterans who are watching to use a service like ours, whether it is for, disability benefit questionnaires or Nexus. Would you mind just kind of sharing a little bit about your role, and then just sort of what did you do before joining REE, and, just a little bit more information on veterans who are watching, that might be interested.
Before REE, I actually, coming out of the military, I went back to school and finished up a history degree and was a history teacher and an education director for 6 years. Absolutely loved. I knew that I wanted to do something like that before joining the military. And the reasoning for joining the military was 9/11. I was at that age and wanted to serve. Coming out, I became a teacher, became an education director, worked on an aircraft carrier museum here in San Diego, which was an amazing experience. But for the past 5 years, I've actually been working in the software industry for cybersecurity companies. I've been helping them build and develop partnership programs and different channels to market with brand awareness.
Which is what you're doing with us now.
What I'm doing. And so I saw the opportunity and I absolutely loved working in the tech industry. I loved all of the people that I've worked with, and all of the people that I've worked with have helped me get to where I am now. And I'm so thankful. But I saw the opportunity, and it was a very easy decision to come and join the REE Medical team, simply because I know that the services that REE Medical offers are so crucial and so valuable for our veteran community. And so I came on board to help build an alliance program, a partnership program with veteran service organizations nationally, and very, very excited to be working with the veteran community again, and to be a part of that family that is so close knit.
Definitely. Well, we're happy to have you. Would you mind? So I know you kind of touched on the Veteran Service Organization partnerships and initiatives. Obviously, you and I will be working really closely on that, which I'm so excited for. Would you mind maybe just expanding a little bit more on that, and how we can maybe get more involved with other organizations and VSOs and partnerships?
Absolutely. Here at REE Medical, we offer medical services and advocacy for our veterans, but there are so many other veteran service organizations, like I said, nationally, that are doing amazing things. Here in San Diego, there's a ton helping wounded veterans with PTSD and getting them out surfing and working with Gold Star families. We have a vision here at REE that we want to highlight those amazing things and shine a spotlight on the amazing things that our veteran service organization partners are doing. And so I'm here to create a program that really brings together this network of veteran service organizations that aren't very connected but are doing amazing things for veterans and don't have that medical advocacy part of the equation. We want to be that, and we want to work with those veteran service organizations, donate to their causes, join them in events, really shine a spotlight on what they're doing to help our veteran community, and then bring in and that medical medical advocacy portion, to really help the members of our veteran service organizations get the benefits that they need.
Absolutely. I love that. I'm so excited for this and can't wait to expand more. I'm sure we'll be doing more videos in the future where we can share more about, some of the really awesome things we're involved with in different organizations.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. That's one of the things that we want to do is do these videos with our veteran service organization partners, to really get the word out on what they're doing. So you'll all be seeing Nick and I.
You'll see more of us, the two Nicks. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Before we wrap up today, obviously, you hadn't worked with REE Medical for your rating, but having now work for us, is there any advice or encouragement that you would like to share, for any veterans who are watching, who might be interested in signing up with REE Medical, in the future? Any questions, any hesitation? If you had worked with us, is there advice that you would offer to any veterans who are watching?
I would have absolutely worked with a company like REE Medical in my journey to get benefits, simply because, yes, I was able to accomplish it, but it took me a decade, and it took a lot of heartache and stress and anxiety, and it really brought down the quality of life for me and my family during that decade, and having to go out and not only go to medical appointments and find the right paperwork and submit claims adjustments just for the quality of life increase over that decade, and the lack of stress and anxiety that comes along with that. Having an advocate, having someone who was on my side and on my team, helping me to get those benefits. I can't express enough how amazing of an opportunity that would have been for me, for my experience and my journey, and I just, for all of my friends that are veterans, that are going to see this, for all of the veterans out there, if you haven't started your claims process yet, if you're halfway through your claims process, if you've gotten ratings from the VA that aren't correct, and you're just hitting that wall of anxiety and stress, just know that there is a team that wants to help, that wants to be a part of your journey with you, and wants to help you get there without that stress and without that anxiety. And so I can't express enough how happy I am to be a part of this team and be a part of that mission and taking that message to our veteran community.
Oh man, well said. That is so great. I am so excited. Thank you so much, Nick. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your story. Hopefully this helps veterans out there who are watching, and can't wait to make more videos and help spread the word of all the wonderful things we have, up our sleeve. And I don't have a sleeve on, but
Can't wait. Let's go.
All right, Nick, we'll talk to you soon.